ain't got it. Broke, five broke. We ain't got it. We broke.
Welcome. We back again with a fresh new episode. It's Dan and Phil, and this is two broke Twimbos, and we managed to get AKA to sit down with us.
What's up, fam?
What's going on, man?
Come in, thanks for having me.
Appreciate it, man.
Cool.
Alright, so just so you know what two broke Twimbos is, Twimbos means Zimbabweans on Twitter. Broke, obviously.
We broke.
Yeah, we won't go into that.
Considering all the album sales that you've had, etc. By the end of this, we should be able to come to an agreement of loans and so on. Alright, man, so thanks for sitting down with us. It's an actual pleasure. Thanks for coming to Zimbabwe. You've been here before?
I've been to Zimbabwe many times.
Yeah?
Yes.
Performed a couple of times?
A couple of times. You know, Zimbabwe obviously is, you know, a great place for African hip-hop music. I mean, I got a lot of fans here, got a lot of support, so it's just, you know, across the border. I mean, it's home, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, dope. So let's touch on your latest release, Levels.
Yes, sir.
It's doing pretty well. It's about to go gold.
Yes, sir.
Alright, so what went into the making of that album?
Well, man, it's a long story. It took me the better part of 2 years to come up with the album. You know, we tried to, you know, basically create a new sound, take dance music and house music and fuse it together and turn it into hip hop music. So if you listen to like a song like "Congratulate" or a song like you know, "Sunshine," whatever on the album, it's not your like typical rap music. But obviously there are rap songs like "Run Josie" and "All Eyes on Me" and so forth. But it took a long time because, you know, I'm somewhat of a perfectionist, and I think when you listen to the album, you listen to the music, I think you can understand why it took so long. So I'm very proud of it.
Alright, dope. So far, I think you're 6 awards deep, if I'm not mistaken.
In total?
In terms of levels.
Oh, in terms of levels, yeah. I've been blessed, man. I've won a lot of awards with this album, and you know, it's challenging as an artist to do your second album. You know, to do it your first time is easy, because, you know, everybody is rooting for the underdog and everybody's behind you and stuff. But on your second album, it gets a bit more difficult, and you know, I've not only proved that to other people, but I've also proved it to myself that, you know, I'm here to stay.
Right, dope. So let's touch on what you've done. You spoke about the progression. You're now the first South African hip hop act to be playlisted on BBC One Radio.
Yes.
You just came back from Nigeria, successful tour there. How did that all come together, and what's the plan been?
Man, it's basically just hard work paying off. I mean, Africa has always been a focus of mine. I've always understood that I can't just be big in South Africa, in my own country. You know, a lot of South African artists are just content to be big in South Africa, and that's something that I've never subscribed to. So, you know, all these things are falling into place now because of the hard work we've put in years before. You know, if you think about it, I mean, my debut song as AKA or whatever came out, 2010, 2011. So it's been a lot of hard work. It's been about 5-6 years now of work that we've been putting in, and now we're reaping the rewards. You know, playlisted on MTV UK and BBC One Extra. Just came back from Nigeria, and nominated for the Ghana Music Awards, and hopefully a BET Open nomination. So things are just are going really, really well.
It's actually worth talking about because Zimbabwe artists are actually struggling with trying to break out of just Zimbabwe. You know what I mean? And the fact that you're here, the fact that Zimbabwe can make a big deal about bringing AKA as a headline act. We wanna have a situation where South Africa is bringing in a Zimbabwean artist as a headline act. So what do we need to do on this end?
Man, I don't have all the answers, you know, but I do feel like you look at the platforms like the DSTV and Channel O and MTV Base have afforded us, you know. You know, Zimbabwe has its own media outlets and all those things. So it's about, first and foremost, being big in your own country. You have to be big in your own country, you know, to use that as a springboard to get big in other countries. So, you know, for me, I think the best advice is to make sure that you work platforms like Channel O, like MTV Base, you know, to push you all around the continent. Because that's how my music got known all around the continent, was by being big on MTV Base and Channel O and, you know, radio stations all across the continent. So that's a good start.
I've noticed a trend in a lot of SA hip-hop as well.
Yeah.
That, and I guess it happens all over, but you're sampling, for example, your single that's right in the charts right now.
Oh, yes, All Eyes on Me.
Was something Brenda
Fassie. Yeah, well, that was, like I said before, that was a very conscious decision to make the music, you know, 2015, and make it rap, but make it African and celebrate our own heroes. I mean, there's only so much, like, George Benson we can sample. You know, we have to also take pride in our own legends and try and breathe new life into their music through hip hop.
You didn't want that to be a single, correct? Yeah.
All Eyes on Me?
Yeah.
No, man, I knew that was going to be a single. I knew that was going to be a single from the moment we finished it. It was just one of those records that was kind of like a given that it would be. I'm obviously grateful, but I always knew, this song is going to do very well.
Even like with your current single, Sim Dope, you sampled Mama Africa.
Yes, MXO. Yeah.
So you literally went and sat down and like, let's list all the great African house songs that we can sample, and then build your album around that?
Well, I basically stumbled on a little formula, So I'm a fan of house music or dance music, and I wanted to sample songs from like the late 90s, when I was younger, songs that like kind of got me into dance music way back. So what I would do is I would listen to that song and then sample the song that they sampled. So for instance, you'll find a lot of these dance songs are like soul samples. So maybe there'll be a Daft Punk song, but Daft Punk sampled whoever. Let's say, for argument's sake, James Brown. So you go sample that James Brown song, and then you get some of the nostalgia of the house, and you get the soul of that original, and then you turn it into your own music.
Dope.
Yeah.
So last year, around about this time actually, there was a big brouhaha when you said you don't support international acts anymore.
I don't know if I said I don't support international acts anymore. I'm still down to perform and do openings for international acts, but on very, very strict conditions. I think the time of being, subservient to international artists in your own country doesn't make no sense. If maybe today, going on the Joburg right now is this Kid Ink, Access Josie thing going on, and I'm in Zimbabwe. Here I am, because I understand that there's no point in people trying to be like, oh, okay, AKA, let's expose you to who are you exposing me to? These are my people. This is my country. Do you understand what I'm saying? So it was nice to do, the Kanye West and the Rick Rosses and blah blah blah. But I think I'm pretty much over that now. Now it's more about, I'd rather do a concert with D'banj than do a concert with Kid Ink.
Yeah. Fair enough. Yeah. That makes sense. Speaking of concerts, I did go to your, I don't know if it's your last one in Zim.
Oh, okay.
A while back. There were so many problems involved with that one in terms of the marketing and so on.
Yeah.
But I was really impressed with your actual performance.
Thank you.
There weren't that many people there.
Yeah.
But you still, it's like you treated it as a full-on 100%.
Man, whether it's one person or 10 people or 10,000 people, you always got to give the same performance. And that's something that I pride myself on, because it's the easiest part of my job. I love to perform. It's the most gratifying. Who wouldn't want to listen to people sing their songs back to them? So I think tonight's show is going to be much better, though.
Yeah.
I've got a good feeling about tonight's show.
Live band?
Yes. Back then I wasn't doing the band, but now the band goes everywhere with me. I've taken my band to Nigeria. They're totally loving their lives. They're like going to Nigeria with me and Zim and all sorts of places.
I've noticed a lot of, I think a lot of Zim hip-hop acts right now pretty much use backtracks.
Yeah.
And they just reduce the volume a little bit, and they're just rapping over their tracks, which is, it can work in some instances, I guess.
Yeah.
But do you see a difference with live band and backtrack?
Oh, man, I've seen a whole world of difference. For instance, it's just like practical things like, maybe the song is done, the backtrack is done playing. What if I want to sing some more? Yeah. What if I'm not done singing?
What if you want to change the lyrics?
What if I want to sing some more? So the band just gives me that ability to be more flexible. I can sing the chorus 4 times if I want. I can do whatever I want with the music as a performer. Because when you're performing, it's all about in the mood, in the moment. And the band allows me to do that. Also, in terms of the sound, it's much bigger and more dynamic. And it also makes me look like more mega. A band, you got to have musicians playing with you. It's something that I realized quite a while ago, and I've been doing it ever since.
Right. Where did that come from, the Super Doro Mega?
I think it was from Don Jazzy and them. They had this Doro Bucci thing.
Yeah.
I kind of took it and I just made it my own kind of thing.
Yeah. Within the creation of Levels, you basically came across and discovered 2 new acts that are taking over. Look to take over this year. Young and Tweezy.
Oh yeah, man.
So how did that come about? How did you find those acts?
Younger was actually directing my music videos, and then one day I found out that he could rap, just out the blue, and I couldn't believe it. And then he played me some of his music and listened to some of his music, and before you know it, we were trying to write music together, and he helped me write Run Josie, the chorus, which he also performs on the song. Tweezy is also a producer that I just kind of stumbled upon. I don't know, maybe the stars were aligned or something. And it's funny how things work themselves out, and he's been a major driving force behind, my sound, and I've also been able to teach him a lot of things. So expect, a lot more music coming from us. And keep your eye on Younger. Younger's going to be a big deal.
All right, dope. In terms of collaborations, we see you're branching out, especially further afield, especially in Nigeria.
Yes.
What can we expect in 2015?
More dollars. No, I'm kidding. Well, I'm not kidding. You can expect more collaborations, man. You can expect me. I mean, I'm supposed to go back to Nigeria in April. They just welcomed me with open arms out there, man. I really enjoyed every second of being in Nigeria. That's where I really belong, I suppose. So yeah, man, Nigeria is definitely on the map. We might have a UK tour coming up this year because of MTV UK and what All Eyes on Me has done in Europe. So yeah, man, my year is just looking crazy. I'm about to be a father this year. I'm trying to finish my third album this year. It's just, my life is just like exploding in all sorts of directions.
Alright, dope.
Yeah.
You just dropped the Saga earlier this week, and I was thinking back, I don't think you've ever dropped a free single since you dropped your free releases 2 years back. Is that a conscious decision? You don't drop free music anymore?
Well, the Saga isn't free because you can get on iTunes. We're making a point of making sure that we do not put out free links, but they're gonna end up on the internet anyway. But we're making a point of making sure that, okay, cool, when the music comes out, it's going on iTunes. And what I like, it's also a Nazi single, it's not my single, it's him featuring me. What I also like is that we didn't okay, 5 days till we drop, okay, 4 days till we drop, okay, artwork,
Sounds
3 days.
shots.
You know what I'm saying? We were just Monday came, we were just here's the song. And I think that has also been integral to the success of the song so far, because it just kind of landed. We went okay, we dropping the artwork on Friday,
So we've learned something. Shots fired. Phil downloaded that track for free.
Oh yeah.
No, I did.
You might want to look into that if there's any people looking into it. While we're talking about money, man, money is something we're very interested in.
And we all.
Mostly because we have none. Tell me in terms of financial success, the year 2014 and what we expect from 2015.
Oh man, it's been great.
Where's it mostly from? Sales?
It's from shows.
Shows, yeah.
So basically, for South African hip hop act, the main source of revenue is still shows.
Man, I think for all artists in this climate, all around the world, Africa, America, anywhere, shows are with the bulk of where the money comes from. I would like to think. I mean, unless you're the Beatles or something, you're earning off your greatest hits or something. Maybe one day I'll get to that point where I put out my greatest hits and I'll just chill on my farm or whatever, rake in the dough.
We got farms here, by the way.
Yeah. We know.
All right, man. Still thinking about the whole money thing. Endorsements are a big deal.
Yes.
You find that's a big source of income for you?
Yes, I forgot about endorsements.
Yes, endorsements, back, no dash.
We don't necessarily chase them, but we make sure that we do what we can to put ourselves in the right time at the right place. In terms of being connected with the right people, keeping your ear to the ground in terms of campaigns and things that brands are trying to do. You always got to do that. But we're still fighting a war, in South Africa in terms of making sure that brands use South African music in commercials or South African artists to push their products and stuff. It's not like in Nigeria where every artist has a deal, Pepsi deal, Coke deal, Glow deal, this deal, So South Africa is very westernized in that regard. It's not as easy as people think really to get a endorsement and a deal out in South Africa.
We ain't got it. Broke, five broke. We ain't got it. We broke.
On a lighter note, those who listen to Two Broke Twimbos, a lot of them are females.
Yes.
Because... and, you find yourself struggling with groupies, or...
I used to.
Yeah.
I used to until I figured the whole thing out, But no, not a stick. Good security.
Yeah.
Good security. But no, man, I mean, I had fun in my earlier days. A lot of stories I could tell. But that's for another podcast.
We got time, fam. We got time.
No, man, I'm just very different now. You know, I've got a girl now, and I've got a baby on the way, and I just bought a house, and we're gonna, you know, do the whole proper thing. Trying to be a good man.
Yeah. Not that we're a gossip rag, but we have noticed, like, for the longest time, that was very, very, very private. Like, then beginning of this year, you went on holiday.
Well, it had to, because, you know, I was gonna have a child. So what we're gonna do? Like, take pictures of the child's foot, or you know? So
guess who this belongs to?
So, you know, for us, it was really about coming out at the right time and doing things on our terms. And trust me, going forward, it'll be on my terms. Going forward, you know, you have to kind of keep your sanity with media and stuff like that. So I think you have to live by your own rules, make up your own rules.
Do you find that media is a big problem in terms of paparazzi, etc.?
Nah, you know, it's not like the States or London or anything, but, you know, the media, once you get to a certain point, people start trying to break you down because you might get too big. So, you know, they try and bring you down, but it's fine. I mean, it's something I understand that I have to deal with. It's part and parcel of what I do, and, you know, sometimes you have to also use the media to your own advantage, you know, so it's a give and take.
Cool.
Yeah.
The fact that you're in Zimbabwe is it's a big deal for Zim hip hop.
Oh yeah,
because it kind of shows that, you know, hip hop can actually have acts that bring in money, that can go on tour, etc.
Yeah.
Are there any Zim acts you know of, or
I know Buffalo Soldier.
Well, everyone knows.
I don't know if I know. I don't know if I know too many others, but I do know Buffalo Soldier.
All right.
Yes.
Shouts to Buff.
Shouts to Buff.
Yeah.
You gotta. We still have to find out what Queen V's song says. That agenda.
Oh yes, I know. He introduced me to Queen V as well. Yes.
So I think on that note we can wrap it up.
Yeah, man. Thank you very much, guys, and, you know, thank you for just keeping the culture alive. You know, even in Zim as well.
Dope. Do we see you about the loan, or you have a
cut?
Thanks, man.
We ain't got it, bro, 5 bro. We ain't got it.